Hi guys, so I'm going to show you a little library of data sheets that I've created for you. And we're going to kind of talk about them and put them in perspective with our workshop. So the first one I'm going to show you is a bathroom data sheet. So this is for a student that I have, and we were working on independency in the bathroom and using a quiet voice while we do it because it was very stressful for our friend. So this is a task analysis data sheet. We listed each step and we put a plus or a minus based on if the student does it or not. And we put the date up at the top and we put the percentage at the bottom. You can edit this, you can take out some of the days on here, you can add another line for your total, you can do it however you would like. But I just wanted to include this one in there just because it is a task analysis and it looks a little different. So you would list out each step for whatever the activity is that your student's doing, whether it's washing dishes or doing a math worksheet, whatever it is. This is how you would do a task analysis data sheet. The next data sheet I'm going to show you is an object data sheet. This kind of goes back to what we talked about with like adding specific items that you're using in the comment section of the IEP goal. So what I always do for my data sheets, I always include a key to show whoever's working with the student. You need a plus for independent, P for prompt, and a minus for no response or non-compliant. In my classroom, it's usually always a plus or a P. A minus is only if the student refuses to give you an answer. Or if like you have prompted and prompted and prompted and they will not do it. So we do a lot of like, what find fork. Nope, that's not right. This is fork, find fork, and they point to the fork. So with my class, like we are constantly having them practice it the right way. So if they get it wrong, we say, oh, that's not it, find fork, and they point to the fork. Hardly ever do we get like no response or non-compliant unless the student's literally just not doing it. But that may look different in like a crosscat room where your students are a little higher and they may get it wrong and you don't correct them with a prompt. So the next one that I want to show you is the safety sign goal. I like to include a picture of the safety signs up at the top so that the teacher or para that is working on this with the student can give them a plus or a minus based on the pictures. It works out really well. Some students, you can even just show them these pictures. You can make cards based off of these same pictures and include it in their IEP workbox, however you want to do it. I always put the goal and the percent on there, date, initials, and then plus or minus, or plus or P is how mine usually look. The next one is a writing goal. This one's for some of my higher kiddos. We still include the key. We include the goal, a very summarized version of the goal. We don't put to increase blah, 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 will, blah, blah, blah. So we always just do the behavior that you're looking at, the goal, and how many sessions that we're trying to get. So on this one, it says that the student will write an email with all of the necessary components. So I have listed those components: subject, greeting, body, closure. So if they did it independently, you'd give them a plus. If you had to prompt them, give them a P. And if you did not prompt them and they did not do it, you give them a minus. The next one would be to write 3 complete sentences with correct punctuation and capitalization. So the only thing I'm scoring on this goal is punctuation and capitalization. So we have sentence number 1, capitalization, sentence number 1, punctuation. Sentence number 2, capitalization, sentence number 2, punctuation. And so mine is 3 complete sentences. So I have punctuation, capitalization, punctuation, capitalization, punctuation, capitalization for each of them. And you would give them plus, minus, or P the same way as you do with the other ones. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is a weekly goal sheet that you can do. So on this one, I have each of the students' goals that are on their IEP, and I have them listed by math, reading, and life skills. Yours may look different. You may have like a science goal, who knows, behavior, whatever it is for your student. And you put the date at the top, and then you can write the summary of that goal in this box, and then you can just graph that part. but these are all the different data sheets that I have made available to you. So each of my students has a weekly goal sheet as well as some of these data sheets that I showed you before. So pretty much what I do is I create these data sheets that I've made from scratch, and then I use them, I copy and paste them to fit whatever I'm using next. But just to give you guys kind of an idea of how to create these are literally just boxes on a table. So I go to Insert, Table, however many boxes I need, and then I label them. I change the color, so you can do that by up here. I change the color, and I I get one done, and I copy and paste it for the rest of them. So it's very easy once you get them started to just copy and paste it and make it fit the goal that you're working on. So most of these came from like an object data sheet or whatever. I used a template from a different goal and I just copy and pasted it to fit the goal that I was working on. And then for these weekly goal sheets, I just copy and paste their goals off of SpedTrack and shorten them. So I take out like the beginning, their names usually because I have their name at the top, and I just do sort pictures or objects by category. So that gives whoever's working with him or her an idea of like what they're working on. So you could even highlight the important part, differentiate between same and different. So that way when they look at the goal, they're like, okay, I know exactly what I'm working on. It does give them more information, but it gives them the basic, like, what am I doing with this student right now? Because when you see all of these words, it's completely overwhelming. I mean, it would be overwhelming for anyone. So you want to make sure that you make this as simple as possible because otherwise people aren't going to do it and they're not going to do it right. So you can literally just highlight each of the important parts. Whoops. And if you mess up, you can do Command or Control Z and pop it right back into place. I have to do that frequently. Just like that. And you can just highlight each of the things that they're supposed to do. And what I do is at the end of the week on Friday, so it'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I graph them. So I would graph each of these data points, and as I finish it, I highlight on paper, I highlight all of that in yellow. The whole thing across the whole board would be yellow because that means that I have uploaded it into my Excel sheet or my sheets, my Google Sheets, and I have graphed it. So at the end of each week, I graph and I figure out, okay, have they met their goal? Then we need to make it a step harder. Are we struggling a little bit? Maybe we need to add some interventions in there for them, some more strategies to work on it. Anyways, I just want to give you guys a little quick tutorial of how I do my data sheets. Also, if you're wanting to do the key, like what I had before, I do it in the header. That's where I do my key. So I'd be like, I means independent, P means prompt, that sort of thing. So I just do it up in the key, up here in the header so that each page has it on it. Anyways, just play around with it, have fun with it. I mean, that's really all it is just practicing and then getting it how you want it, getting what works for your class. I mean, I use this as my weekly summary sheet, and I put them all on a clipboard for my paras, and I put them in their drawer with all of their IEP goal work, and that's kind of how we do it. That's the system that I use in my classroom.